Well, we are back on another video on the baby Camry Corolla. On the last video, we attempted to start the car, and we actually did start the car for the first time in over 3 years. If you haven't seen that video, go check it out. The link is at the top right hand corner. For now, we're going to try to get the car back to its original self, and we're going to finish up with everything that we were doing since we have started building this car. We're going to focus on the engine, finish everything on the engine, finish everything on the interior, and get this car on its wheels, because I want to take this car for the first drive. So the first thing that I'm going to do is focus on the engine, get everything back on the engine before we go to the interior, then finish everything on the interior. On the interior, it's not a lot of things that need to be done, and then clean the car, get the car ready for the first test drive. I'll need to find new tires, because these tires are not actually having air on them. They don't hold air at all, so I need to find new tires or second-hand tires. So that's what we're about to do. And on the last video, some of you guys said the timing is actually wrong, and the firing order is not actually correct. You guys said it's not correct, which is correct. Here is a picture of the firing order. If you want to go check it out on Google, go check it out. And some of you said that the timing is incorrect because I used 1E. And the reason that I use 1E, I've explained on the previous video, is because, as you can see from the inside, there is a pin over there, and this pin is actually for the cam to show that where the camera at, and this pin must always be on the same line as that hole right there. What I'm actually trying to say is that that pin represented the location of the cams, or the center point of the cams, and this pin must be on 12 o'clock when doing the timing, which will match up with this dot right here, and it would usually look like this. Because ours was damaged, we had no choice but to use the 1E, because if we continue to use the 2E, our cams would have not aligned at all, because the pin would have been on the side and not on the center. So I'm using 1E as this hole so that we can match it with that dot. So how can it be incorrect because I'm not using 2E? Because remember, the reason that I'm not using 2E is because behind this, it is actually damaged. This pin over here, it is not sitting the same as how it is sitting here. It is sitting behind, which means when this hole on the 2E is aligned with that dot, that means this pin is not actually aligned with it because it's on the side, which means the timing will be off. So if I focus on trying to get it on 2E, the timing will be off all the time. And another thing on the carburetor is that the car was not actually idling with the carburetor. I put a string over here. As you can see, this string, you can see the cable for the accelerator, and I just put a string over here so that the car can idle. It doesn't want to idle on its own, so maybe I need to play with it a little bit. Maybe it will idle, because the reason that I said the carburetor might be the issue is because everything on this car was written Toyota, which means they might not have been replaced at all. I'm not entirely sure, but I think they might not be replaced at all, which means the carburetor might be an original carburetor. Maybe it is written Toyota somewhere, I don't know, but the water pump was written Toyota, the petrol pump was written Toyota, so which means majority of things on here was written Toyota, which means they were original and they were never replaced. That's why I thought this might need to be replaced, but I'm not actually sure, because I'm still going to play with it. I'm still going to play with it a little bit and see if it will actually make any changes. But for the most part, this car is actually coming out really nice. The way the process is actually going, I think I'm actually happy that the engine is actually starting, which gives me more confidence to actually throw some cash on it, because if the engine didn't want to start, that means I'm going to hold on the cash that I'm having. So on the inside, we're still going to be starting this car with this. We're just gonna use a tablespoon, which is not actually ideal because there's a pin behind this which is broken, which means I need to buy the whole mechanism, and that is going to be expensive. And I saw that here on the cluster there's an indicator light that is always on for some reason, and I saw that these are not working at all, and if all the indicators or the light are not working, that means we have a wiring issue which we need to deal with. And I don't know if like the temperatures work, because I didn't get the car to the right temperature. I know that the petrol the petrol gauge does not work, which is not actually going to be hard to get the petrol gauge to work again. There are some couple of things that are not working, and we still don't have a steering wheel. Here's the steering wheel. You can see how not good the steering wheel is. We need to fabricate, we need to make the steering wheel look good. I don't know if we need fabrication or what, but we need to make the steering wheel to look good before we throw it back on the car. That's what we need to do. And we need to get the safety belt. We need to get the safety belt back on the car as well, and the front seat back on the car. We don't have a cover over there for the shifter. We don't have that cover, but we can make our own, so we need to try to do that. And still a lot of things that need to be done. The seat needs to be covered, the door panels needs to be covered as well, and they need to get back to their original state. There's a lot of things that needs to be done on this car, but we're still on that process, and I think we're gonna get it done some way, somehow. The original wheels that came with this car are these wheels, and those wheels are not mine, are borrowed wheels. So these ones are the ones that came with this car. I need to find new tires so that we can get the car for the first drive. So for now, let's get everything back on the engine. So the first thing that I'm going to start with is the radiator, and the reason is because I want to see if the radiator will be able to hold water, which will also minimize my costs as I'm rebuilding this car. I was also trying to flush it, which is not the best method of doing, but this is what I'm working with. Well, even though the radiator looks so beaten up, like over here, this part, the thing is, it still holds water fine, so which saves me a bit of cash. I don't need to go and buy another radiator. I'll see how long this radiator will last. I hope it lasts for a long time. And now I'm just gonna clean the radiator from the outside to make it look a little bit better than how it looks now. I'm just gonna remove the fan so that I have more access to clean behind the fan. This is not actually necessary to do, but I'm just doing it just to make the engine bay look more clean. After cleaning it, I decided to paint it because washing it didn't actually make any difference. There are a couple of parts that I need to clean and paint it before they go back on the car. I'm waiting for all of them to dry. I'm just gonna install the safety belt back on the car. And I also need to clean out the safety belt after I install them. After the safety belt is the seat that needs to be cleaned to get ready to go back on the car. After cleaning the seat, it's time to install them back on the car. Well, the seats look worn, torn, but when they're in the car, they actually look better. I know we are not going to let the seat be like this for a long time. It's just for the time moment because we want to take the car for a test drive. So we're just going to let the seat be the way they are, but they actually look good. They don't look too bad, even though they are torn and worn. Let me show you. To be honest, the interior is actually looking good, even though it is not actually complete. Just imagine it being 100% complete. I want to rewrap the seats, but I don't know which color should I go with, because I'm thinking of changing the color, flipping the color from the red, the stitching to be black, and the leather to be red. I wanted to flip it. I don't know. I'm still deciding. I might let the seat be the way they are, which is not acceptable. I'm just playing. I'm not going to let them be the way they are. And we have to do the steering wheel. We have a lot to do on the interior, but man, the interior is actually coming out pretty well. Over here we don't have a shift boot or a shift knob, so it's just a stick like this, but it's pretty cool. I kind of like it. And all the gears go in. We have first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear, fifth gear, so, and reverse. All the gears go in, which is a good thing, but we are not completely sure if they go in the way they're supposed to, because we need to test drive the car to be 100% sure about the gearbox, knowing that the gearbox is running the way it's supposed to. But nevertheless, everything looks mint. We need to buy a radio, and we need to have a sound system, and we need to sort out the wiring on this car. But to be honest, I'm actually enjoying the process of the car. If you think we are not making any progress, bruh, you haven't watched the previous videos, or you're just a hater, bruh. Come on. We're making progress. It's a slow progress because we are doing this on a budget. We don't have that crazy amount of money. If we did, yeah, the car would be complete, maybe. But for now, I think we're doing a pretty good job. Since we're waiting for the radiator and other parts to dry, I just want to refresh the passenger side of the engine bay, because on a couple of videos we refreshed the driver side on the engine bay. I think the car will look much better if we did the passenger side as well. For now, I'm just gonna remove everything that is on the firewall, which will give me more access to clean and refresh the engine bay on that side. This side has a lot of things to remove than the other side, and it's just some pipes that needs to be disconnected, which are old pipes and they are really hard to remove. After removing those pipes, it's just some couple of brackets that needs to be removed. Then after that, I'm just going to remove everything out of the way so that I have more access to clean and paint the engine bay on this side. The actual aim with this build is to make it look like it was never abandoned at all, and I think we're doing a pretty good job in doing that. And if you have made it to this part of the video, make sure to give this video a like and a subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. I also decided to clean the gearbox, so I need to remove everything that is connected to the gearbox so that I have more access to cleaning the gearbox. So the first thing that I'm removing is the gearbox mount, because it is taking a lot of space and it has a lot of oversprays on it, so I need to repaint it black. I decided to remove the distributor to have more space and so that I won't spill any water on the distributor, since the distributor is electrical and that's the distributor out. After that, I'm going to disconnect all the wiring and put them aside so that I have more access on the gearbox. So now we got almost everything out of the way of the gearbox. I just need to remove this cylinder over here so that I can have full access on the gearbox, so I can clean the gearbox and make the gearbox look pretty nice. And over here needs to be cleaned and painted, but I don't think I have enough paint because the battery is going to be located over here and we're going to have a bracket over here and that fuse over here, so it won't be visible. So now I just want to focus on the gearbox and make the gearbox look pretty good. I'm just going to remove the cylinder, then get started with cleaning the gearbox. The reason I have removed everything away from the gearbox so that I have more access on the gearbox to clean it and maybe paint it. Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. The last thing to remove is the sleeve cylinder, then after that we can clean the gearbox. Till I'm on top. Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. And I would say to get the best result when cleaning the gearbox is to remove the whole gearbox away from the vehicle. Or should I say away from the engine, because it will give you more access to clean the gearbox and remove all the dirt all over the gearbox. In my case, I did whatever that I can do to make the gearbox look clean. Well, we're done with the gearbox. I actually bought silver paint, not chrome, but this looks like chrome, which usually on the gearbox doesn't actually look good to me. And because I didn't clean the gearbox the way it's supposed to be cleaned, or I didn't do as best as I could have done, this is the outcome and it doesn't look good. It looks good on camera, but in real life it doesn't look good at all. I hate it. I don't like it. I'm just gonna leave it like this. It's gonna get dirty, or we're going to repaint it again one more time another day or whatever. But for now, this is the way it is. I'm just gonna install everything back, get everything the way it's supposed to be. At least the engine bay looks clean. That was the whole aim. So now it's just a matter of installing everything back. So everything needs to go back where it was supposed to be, such as the fuse box needs to go back and install the rightfully way, and the distributor, everything needs to go back. And yeah, since I got the gearbox mount back on, everything else will be much easier to install, because the gearbox mount was the hardest to install. What I'm actually doing now is installing everything the way I took them off, starting off with the clutch cylinder, which I also painted black. Then in goes the wiring, which needed to be connected back correctly, because before it wasn't connected the way it's supposed to. So I'm just gonna connect it properly so that the engine bay will look normal. Well, let me show you how the engine bay used to look like before we started fixing everything on this car. And let me show you how it is now after doing a couple of things and cleaning up a little bit, and how it looks. We're not actually done yet with the engine bay, with everything on the engine bay and everything on the engine. We're still busy with it, but this is how it looks now.
In my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say.
Well, this is another way I wanted to end the video, because I wanted to finish everything on the car and get the car on its wheels and finish everything on the engine bay. But unfortunately, I won't be able to do that, and the reason for that is because I'm not actually feeling well. I caught a cold and now I don't have enough strength to continue with this. I was busy with the car yesterday, and today I tried to go back and continue where I left off, but I'm hesitating on everything, which means I'm not actually having the strength to actually do this. So I decided just to edit the video. I'm going to edit the video, then post the video, and on the next video we're going to take the car for a test drive. After editing the video, I'm going to go and try to find new tires, because the car needs tires. I'm going to go and try to find new tires. Then we're going to get the first drive on this car, and we also need an alternator. We also need an alternator belt, just to get the car running the way it's supposed to. I don't know if the old alternator actually works, or I'll need to buy a new one. Hopefully I'll be able to fix the old one, and there will be no need for me to buy a brand new one. So with that all being said, if you haven't liked the video, make sure to hit that like button, to hit that subscribe button, and hit the notification as well. And I guess I'll see you guys on the next one, and thank you for watching. Now we're going to paint the dashboard. Let's do it now. Now we're going to paint the dashboard. Let's do it now.